What do you think your confidence level is on a 0 to 100 scale?
69.
Nice.
Nice. Perfect.
Great. And that does it for this episode of the Evil Trivia Podcast.
Yeah,
Thank you for listening.
I think that's the perfect confidence level.
Ritika, Trevor, welcome to the pod. Question number 1. What artist am I describing? She has had 2 singles chart in the US. Her first was a song in 2011 where she wakes up at 7 a.m. and has some cereal before going to school. And her second was a sort of follow-up song that, according to the title, takes place 24 hours later. What artist is that? So, while Ritika and Trevor think about that, welcome to the latest episode of the Evil Trivia Podcast. I'm Graham. I'm joined by Ritika and Trevor. Ritika, first time on the pod. Welcome. We'll get to you in a second.
Ooh-wee.
Sit tight. You know, it's not that important.
And tight.
Ritika and Trevor are going to be solving our hidden theme round. I have 8 questions, 8 answers that all tie together by a certain hidden theme. It could be the entirety of an answer. It could be a word within each answer. In either case, Trevor and Ritika are going to be thinking about the answers to these questions are and what the hidden theme could be. If they figure out the hidden theme, it's worth 2 points of our imaginary point system. But it'll also, more importantly, help them with some of the questions they might be on the fence about as they go through the round. If you want to play along with these questions, you can follow us on Patreon at Evil Trivia and follow us on Instagram. Or if you live in New York City, come out to our in-person trivia hosted by the 3 of us at Radagast and St. Infna's.
Right.
Tuesdays at 7:30. Okay, I got through all the things I needed to say. Ritika, welcome. How are you doing?
Welcome, Ritika.
I am honestly feeling I'm fangirling a little bit right now. I just can't believe I'm here. Like
You're on the set.
I'm on the set, my bedroom, like literally,
where it all happens.
Right.
For the folks at home, so a little brief intro on Ritika. Ritika is our newest host in the bar. Our newest,
which
like,
isn't
official
even that
full-time
new.
host.
You were just telling me like the other day that like has it been?
I know.
How long has it been?
Almost.
I'm almost coming on my year.
Like, I was
with
like,
Evil Trivia. I started
in my mind. It's like it's so recent, but it's been a very blur. It's been a blur of a year. So
yeah.
I know.
For the folks at home,
crazy.
This is Ritika joining the podcast. Ritika has been our most frequently requested and only requested guest on the podcast. People have been asking us for weeks now. We see you have all these straight white men coming on the show. When are we going to get Ritika in there? So we finally, it's not been us. I promise. It's not been us. We've been trying to get her on here. She's very busy. She's very popular. And we have finally managed to carve some time out of her busy schedule to get her on the podcast. So thank you, Ritika.
Ritika, you have hosted trivia for almost a year now. Have you ever have you played before? Have you been in the bar playing? I can't remember if you've actually sat in the bar
and played our trivia before.
Right. Right. Well, that's the rub. It's interesting. I think I played trivia probably like 3 or 4 times before with you guys before I was like, I think that I feel calling to this mysterious lemon. So it's definitely quite the throwback to be on the player side. I'm feeling a little bit nervous, but overall excited for the questions ahead.
Well,
it'll be interesting to see how you experience being a player now that we have finally won you over to the dark side, and we start to see that level of playful-ish contempt that the hosts have for the players. It'll be interesting for you to feel that heat again for the first time in almost a year.
Well, do you have any idea what the answer to the first question could be?
You know, it's interesting. The first thing that came into my head was that song Friday by Rebecca Black that went like super viral on YouTube. But I'm like, did she release Saturday? Like, is that?
She sure did.
Okay.
She sure did. The original story about Rebecca Black was that she went to like a studio where you can pay to have then basically write and produce a pop song and video for you. It's like a process for the rich to come in and basically get to play act as a pop star, and hers just happened to take off in pretty significant fashion for maybe or maybe not the reasons she intended.
got a lot of hate mail from that one, probably.
Got a lot of hate mail.
And I remember she recorded this entire video with, I think it was probably Vevo, but please fact check me on this, where she was like talking about the level of cyberbullying.
Oh my God.
100%.
She went through for that song.
Yeah,
and for a second,
absolutely.
I almost like felt really sorry for it.
And then the second
then I listened to Friday, like, no, and then
and then she came back for another one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so you have a pretty confident guess for the first question.
I think we feel very confident about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ritika, when you are hosting trivia in the bar and somebody comes up to you and is like, "What do you mean by hidden theme?" What do you say to them?
I kind of just say that, first of all, I tell them to read the instructions because, Graham, for Pete's sake, you have it italicized on every single round one. So I truly don't know how else to say it. But I kind of just am like, there's a hidden little pattern that connects all of the 8 answers together, and see if you can figure that out. And if you can't, that's totally fine, but might make your life a little bit easier.
Any stabs you want to take with one question in the chamber?
Rebecca Black.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So for the folks at home, on the left-hand side we have Rebecca, which as a name is kind of interesting, but there can be plenty of Rebeccas that are tied to other nouns or descriptive words that get attached to them. Black, in this case, is probably more likely to be the theme word. It can fit more motifs. It can fit more common sort of phrases and turns of phrase. But one question in is almost certainly not enough time. We'll see if we can come back to it. But Rebecca Black is definitely an interesting intro.
I do appreciate the shout out for the instructions that are on the route. Like we didn't always used to be like this, but we are so these days so sure to put every last bit of instruction point value on the paper. You would think that it prevents confusion and prevents like questions on how things work. It never does. It never does.
All
right, question number.
But it's a beautiful thought.
Question number 2. A certain African port city was originally called Anfa, A-N-F-A, a word whose meaning is debated. It could refer to a bird, a hill, or a nose. However, its new name is quite easy to parse. It happens to translate into the name of a building located at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, though it's not actually related to it. What is the name of this city? I'll read it one more time. A certain African port city was originally called Anfa, a word whose meaning is debated. It could refer to a bird, a hill, or a nose. However, its new name is quite easy to parse. It happens to translate into the name of a building located at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, though is not actually related to it. What is the name of this city?
Okay. What an interesting question. It's going in a lot of different directions.
Right.
Is that a critique of the question?
No. It's an unpacking of the question for us and for the listeners. A certain African port city originally called Anfa. I'll start with, I have not heard of Anfa before. There's other things in here that I feel like can be parsed out as the question says. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Rithika, do you want to take a stab at that? Are you familiar?
I really wish I was, but it was 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. See, I got the address. Also, he said bird, hill, and what was the third one?
A nose.
Nose.
Perhaps a nose. So I'll jump in then. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is the official address of the White House.
Oh, I see.
The White House. which is very interesting now because presumably if it's just also named White House, which would be interesting. Does the White House have another name?
Again, to be clear, the new name of this city translates into the name of a building located at 1600.
The name of a building. So at first blush, a couple of things. One, I could have the White House address incorrect. But let's assume for a second that is the White House and it's not like the Capitol building, although that would be another potential capital. Could be the name of a city. Someone could just have translated something to capital. Tokyo and East Tokyo, I believe, or Tokyo and Kyoto are just like capital city or East capital city, I think is the split between those. Or I'm completely wrong about both of those things. Get in the comments. So I guess we'll float out there for 1600 pen the White House as a kind of guess, which is interesting with Rebecca Black and a caution to anyone at home who wants to jump to thinking that this is just that the hidden theme is just colors. Let's hold our judgment.
I really like saying something and then saying get in the comments. It's like that adage where it's like the number one way to like up engagement on the internet is to be wrong on the internet. So we should do an episode where it's just riddled with completely incorrect facts.
Correct.
And then we just like try to get the engagement up in the comments. Again, to be clear, I'm looking for the name of the city. Okay, the name of the city.
Right.
Okay, number three. Number three.
Real tough.
Okay.
Jelena might be the ship name for Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez, but it's also the real first name of what Maybelline spokesperson with a younger sister in a similar line of work? I'll read it again. Jelena might be the ship name for Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez, but it's also the real first name of what Maybelline spokesperson with a younger sister in a similar line of work?
Okay, I think I know what this is.
All right, I'm really glad to hear that because my knowledge of Maybelline spokespeople is fairly low.
I also totally could be wrong about this,
which is perfectly fine.
I think I have an idea because Gigi and Bella. Gigi would be Jelena, right? Okay. Although I don't even know that that's her full name, but I'm just thinking that, she strikes me as someone who would be a Maybelline representative / ambassador and also has a younger sister who works in beauty.
Okay. And Gigi Hadid?
Yes, that's just a guess.
Okay. It's a decent guess. What would you say your confidence? We do this sometimes when we float guesses out there. What do you think your confidence level is on a 0 to 100 scale?
69.
Nice.
Nice. Perfect.
Great. And that does it for this episode of the Evil Trivia Podcast. Yeah, Thank you for listening.
I think that's the perfect confidence level. Okay.
Number 4.
Okay, so do we think that her coming back to it?
Okay.
The idea would be that her name would be Jelena Hadid and she is nicknamed Gigi.
Yeah. Do you think her real name is Gigi? Like her government?
The tough part is that the spelling for Jelena is Jelena, and then it switches to Ggigi. So that would be tough. I'm not saying it's not. My confidence in it not being that is certainly not over 69 right now. So I think we hold on to it, and I think we
hold on to it and come back.
Okay, yeah.
Number 4. Although he's known for being funny, what comedian wrote the afterword to the not-so-funny true crime book, I'll Be Gone? I can't speak. I'm not going to cut it out, because to do so would be lying to our audience. And I have to show that even the best hosts make mistakes sometimes. Lead by example. Number 4 again.
Yeah, lead by example.
For the first time, a little bit better. Although he's known for being funny, what comedian wrote the afterword to the not-so-funny true crime book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, written by his late wife, Michelle McNamara? Number 4 again. Although he's known for being funny, what comedian wrote the afterword to the not-so-funny true crime book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, written by his late wife, Michelle McNamara? Ooh, tough one.
Assuming they have the same last name, which I don't know is a fair assumption. In many cases, these comedians and stars don't share last names with their spouses. But McNamara, Ritika, are there any comedians that you know that there's definitely one itching around in the back of my brain. I feel like if I'm following the question correctly, Rob McNamara, Ron McNamara.
I'm trying.
And we're looking for the comedian's name. Yeah.
Right. Yes. I think.
Tough one.
Okay. Let's come back to this one, but yeah, this is going to be.
This is why there's a hidden theme. Sure. You can always go back. To the questions. Yes. Question number 5. What ice cream flavor am I describing? It was likely invented by a candy maker and a creamery teaming up. Its name is a likely reference to tough times being faced by many during the Great Depression. It was one of the first ice creams to feature mix-ins. What ice cream flavor am I describing? It was likely invented by a candy maker and a creamery teaming up. Its name is a likely reference to tough times being faced by many during the Great Depression. It was one of the first ice creams to feature mix-ins. What ice cream flavor is that? For number 5.
Do you have any thoughts on this one, Ritika? Because I think I've got a soft guess that might fit some of.
I think I also have a soft guess, and I'm wondering if we're aligned here.
Give me yours, and let's see what my reaction to your guess is.
Well, I'm just thinking ice cream candy maker, tough times, Rocky Road.
I think we're on the same page there.
Right, because marshmallow, that's the candy. Ice cream, that's chocolate ice cream. Rocky times. I think
Rocky Road. Okay.
I'm trying to. Is there anything else that it's like definitely not like Chunky Monkey?
I think we can spend a lot of time thinking about things that's not.
Chunky Monkey would be a hilarious. Like the thing that I'll say about that before we move on is that Chunky Monkey would absolutely be something that like Great Depression era folks, like really folksy people, would be like, well, today's just a real chunky monkey, if you know what I mean. I just paws down at the coal mine, trying to make things work, trying to make ends meet. The farm's all dusty, and it's just, folks, it's a real chunky monkey. Is something that I wouldn't put past them to say. Rocky Road is maybe a little bit more on point there, but they said some awfully goofy things.
Or it's like the ice cream flavor stock market crash, that classic.
My favorite ice cream, Black Tuesday.
Sounds delicious, actually. All right, number 6. We're gonna move right on to number 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In a move that might make George Halas turn in his grave, one of the most storied U.S. sports franchises announced in February 2026 that they are building a new stadium in neighboring state Indiana, though keeping their original city in their team name. What franchise is this? City and team name, please. And when I say that, I mean if the answer was New York Yankees, which it's not, you would write down New York Yankees. You wouldn't just write down New York. You wouldn't just write down Yankees. I'll read it one more time.
Well, that goes my best guess.
In a move that might make George Halas turn in his grave, one of the most storied U.S. sports franchises announced in February 2026 that they are building their new stadium in neighboring state Indiana, though keeping their original city in their team name. What franchise is this? City and team name, please.
All right,
is George Halas a familiar name to you, Trevor?
Not in the least. I think our better lead in is going to be neighboring states to Indiana, though keeping their original city in their team name. Okay, neighboring states to Indiana.
I'll take neighboring states to Indiana for 500, Alex.
For 100. I need the easier one. I want to say this is gonna really drag. This is going to cause so much chagrin in those listening at home, particularly the ones who know exactly what this is, because presumably it's very relevant news for right now. This just happened. Unfortunately, all of my copies of the Sports Times are downstairs by the front door.
Sports Times.
And I am not.
Every episode,
the Sports
every episode,
Tribune.
we sort of make fun of Trevor's sports knowledge. But I think actually, like, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, Rithika, but like, is your sports knowledge great either?
Oh,
So
heck
we can
no.
we can sort of make fun of both of you. Trevor,
You totally could.
This in no way helps me. I don't
Right.
benefit at all from this arrangement.
I was honestly waiting to be heckled by Graham. I think that was a good one, my lack of sports knowledge. I'm also thinking February 2026, like that's literally
that's yesterday.
right now.
No,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. That just happened.
That's why I'm like, why don't I know about this?
Do
Maybe
you
it's because it's
follow?
not that big of a deal. Maybe it's a sport that's not that big of a deal.
Perfect. That's
Everybody who lives in this
exactly
city
what
or
we
is a
need.
fan of this team is like, how dare you?
Oh,
okay.
man.
Well, so let's get through this because
Let's power
without a doubt,
through.
this is going to be let's power through this. Let's power through this.
Well, I get
Because the going at it from the state angle, I'll say, am I of the opinion that Ohio shares a border with Indiana? I want to say that it
I
does.
think you're right.
It's to the north,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So, like,
yes.
storied franchises of old certainly come out of Ohio. Is the neighbor to the south Oklahoma or Louisiana?
We're gonna keep going.
I know we're gonna keep
Okay.
going.
I gave
come
you
back
a
to
sports
it.
question.
We'll
I'll
look for
give
the
you a
strong
nerd question now. Okay.
move. Oh, phew.
Number 7. Before video game developer Naughty Dog was making masterpieces like Uncharted and The Last of Us, they became famous for a 1996 PlayStation platformer featuring what titular orange protagonist created by the mad scientist Dr. Neo Cortex? 7 again. Before video game developer Naughty Dog was making masterpieces like Uncharted and The Last of Us, they became famous for a 1996 PlayStation platformer featuring what titular orange protagonist created by the mad scientist Dr. Neo Cortex?
So I am supremely confident, as I have said before when I've been wrong, but I am supremely confident in this one, Rithika. But I will give you the floor if you would like to jump on it. For everyone at home, were you alive in 1996?
Neither me or Rithika.
I cannot say I was.
Neither of you were. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, children. All right. Well, one of my favorite video games growing up that I have played probably almost every iteration of, including the short-lived
the kart racing one was good.
spin-off that it had. The kart racing one was fun, man. That was a good time.
Hard.
This would be, of course, one of the first mascots for the Sony PlayStation platform to rival Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario and Luigi would be Crash Bandicoot. In fact, that's I think a little bit where the name Naughty Dog comes from. But Crash Bandicoot. We haven't touched on theme words in a little while. Crash is a pretty good theme word. Bandicoot is a tremendously terrible theme word. In fact, I think the only unless it was like, are bandicoots real animals? There's a question. There's a question I'm going to feverishly look up after this episode. I think bandicoots might be a real like subspecies of rodent. But let's go with they're only that. They're either a kind of animal or they go with Crash. And if the answer is Crash Bandicoot, I don't think Bandicoot is the theme word. So Crash Bandicoot
Okay.
is my very confident answer for number
7.
6.
Number 7.
Wolf bark. Okay.
See what you did there.
All right,
See
we're
what
gonna
you
get
did
this
there.
ending. We're gonna come ripping back.
Rithika's always trying to give us the 6-7 jokes. Okay. Number 8. Last question of the round, and then we'll do a little bit of a recap, and then we'll see if you guys can get
Yes.
the theme and work backwards from there.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Yes. Okay.
Number 8. Although Beethoven himself referred to it simply as either number 14 or quasi una fantasia or fantasia, what is the much more recognized name for what is arguably his most famous piano composition? Number 8 again, although Beethoven himself referred to it simply as either number 14 or quasi una fantasia or fantasia, what is the much more recognized name for what is arguably his most famous piano composition? For number 8.
Okay.
Stumpers all around.
So piano composition is almost certainly not a symphony. So going down the only ones that are going to come to mind, unfortunately, I'm fairly positive are Mozart, because I'm thinking like Clair de Lune or
I'm thinking, I don't know why Sonata keeps coming into my head.
Moonlight Sonata. Ooh.
Right? Like that was my guy Beethoven, wasn't it?
We're going to say it was because you said it with an amount of confidence that is going to... Okay, so now, hold on. We've got answers that we feel pretty good about, like Moonlight Sonata, Crash Bandicoot, Rebecca Black, and The White House. Let's come back to The White House. But with Moonlight Sonata, Crash Bandicoot, and Rebecca Black, Crash and Moonlight, are these Academy Award movies? Crash,
Ooh.
Moonlight, Rocky Road, Rocky. Okay, follow me here on this. I think we've got Crash, Moonlight, Rocky.
What would Rebecca Black be?
Black or Rebecca? If it's not, I'm assuming it's going to be the whole title. But if it's not the whole title, it could be like Meet Joe Black, which was an Academy Award-winning movie. But I'm going to assume for a second that it's the whole movie. If it's movies, we're gonna run down. We've gotten through all the questions. We'll come back through them. Oklahoma, Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, okay, let's go back through the questions. But I think
I'll do a little bit of a recap here for you.
Yes.
Number 1, I was looking for that artist from that song. Your guess is Rebecca Black. For number 2, I'm looking for the name of an African port city originally called Anfa. You do not have a guess. You've said the White House as like a jumping off point, but you don't have a guess of the name of the city.
Yeah.
Number 3 was that Maybelline spokesperson with a younger sister. First name Jelena. Your guess is Gigi Hadid. Number 4 is about that comedian who wrote the afterword to All Be Gone in the Dark, written by his late wife, Michelle McNamara. You don't have a guess, or you said Rob McNamara. Number 5 is that ice cream flavor. You have said Rocky Road. Number 6 is that sports franchise. You do not have a guess. Number 7 is that Naughty Dog character. You have said Crash Bandicoot. And number 8 is that Beethoven composition. You've said Moonlight Sonata.
All right.
Okay.
Ritika, I want you to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
This could be a rough round, but I think we've got the right idea here.
Yeah.
If we had to throw down a city, that was also a Oscar award-winning, assuming Best Picture or something like that. What would be a city that comes to mind? Well, let's start with as a point of discussion. How is your Academy Award knowledge?
Right. It's very recent, within the past 20 years. I think before the year 2000, I'm a little iffy.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, is Oklahoma like a play? Or I know that Oklahoma is something like
It is, but did they turn it into a movie?
a
that
movie,
everyone loves?
right? And did
I
it do
know.
well?
I know.
Right.
I
Because
know.
like Oklahoma City, you threw that out.
Can you name? I know I threw out Oklahoma City, but I don't know that I could come up with an Oklahoma City sports franchise.
Our sports fans listening are just.
I know. Listen, come on the show. Tell you what, get in the comments.
I think everybody who's been in the comments besides
knowledge.
Charlotte has been on the show. Charlotte, if you're listening, come on the show.
Big shout out to Charlotte. Come on the show. Bring all your sports knowledge. Come help us with the one question a week that's about sports. Okay. In which case, how about this, Ritika? We'll work backwards. I know this puts you on the spot, so take this loosely. Can you start to go through some of your best picture knowledge from the last couple of years as they come?
Okay. So last year, 2025. Well, I don't think that. Okay, let me just name. Like, I won't go in order. I'll just name whatever.
Yeah.
So
just name them as they come to mind.
Honora.
Oh, that's an interesting name. That makes for an interesting name, Jelena. Okay, keep going. I know. Okay. Okay,
and then before then, did The Brutalist win Best Picture?
The Brutalist.
Or was it just familiar. Adrian Brody?
I'm really trying. I'm really like. This is making me hold my tongue. So this is funny because Blaze and I are both big like Oscar nuts, and I wrote Peek Behind the Curtain. We recorded the last episode with Blaze back to back with this one, and I wrote both of these trivias. I should have changed my shirt. You did change your shirt.
I did.
And I wrote both of them, and I was trying to think about which one to do for Blaze, which one to do for Ritika. And when Blaze listens to this, he's gonna be screaming at his TV or whatever he's watching it on.
It's his tube television that he's watching these episodes on. Okay.
Oh my gosh, R.I.P. Okay. So sorry, Blaze.
So sorry.
I'm gonna push you guys for answers, and then whatever you don't have, I'll give you some hints on. This is a tough round for sure.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. I think as we've done in the last couple, let's lock in for this because we don't want to hang people up too much. Let's hear which ones we have wrong, and then we can.
Okay, so let's get. Why don't you give me answers for the questions? Number one, you've said Rebecca Black. Would you like to lock that in? Number two, can you think about that African port city might be?
God, it's either Capitol or the White House, and I'm assuming it's going to be Capitol. So let's go with Capitol.
Again, and I'm gonna say this again, even though I've said it like 4 times. I'm looking for the city whose name translates into something else. So if you think the answer is X, if you think the building is X, think about what that building could translate back into in another language. Okay. So what have you said?
So it could be like Port-au-Prince.
Okay, I'll give you more hints. Okay, so you don't have a guess for that one. Number 3, your guess is Gigi Hadid. Would you like to lock that in? Okay. Number 4, you don't have a guess. So we'll skip. Number 5, your guess is Rocky Road. Would you like to lock that in?
Yeah.
Number 6, you don't have a guess. You've said Oklahoma City. We'll skip that.
Yeah, we'll throw in Oklahoma City.
Okay. Number 7, you said Crash Bandicoot. Would you like to lock that in? Number 8, you said Moonlight Sonata. Would you like to lock that in? What is your guess for the hidden theme?
Academy Award winning film.
Okay, so your point total is you got 7 out of 10 correct. 7 out of 10.
Hey,
so you guys
pretty good considering we didn't
miss 3 questions. And then you guys got the hidden theme. The hidden theme specifically is, if anybody wrote down what you said, full credit, but it's specifically one word Best Picture winners.
One word.
And I did
fantastic.
And I did put these in order.
Yes.
of release date.
Okay.
So the first one,
Right.
Okay.
you guys said Rebecca Black. That's absolutely correct. Rebecca, 1940 Hitchcock film. Phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, it's great. There was a remake not too long ago, or maybe like a play or something. Fantastic movie. Great movie. Number two, you're going to really kick yourself when you figure this one out. You're right to say the White House is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Okay.
Can you think of a movie whose title would translate to White House? An African port city.
An African port city.
What is another word for house?
That translates that.
In let's say
domicile.
Let's say in Spanish.
in Swahili.
Casa.
Casa. Okay.
Casablanca. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
I knew you guys were gonna kick yourself for that one. Yeah, so 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue,
Africa,
White
so it
House,
was in
Casablanca
Morocco.
translates
beautiful.
into the White
Beautiful.
House.
Beautiful. I got so stuck on Africa and when sub-Saharan, I didn't stop to think that it could have
Morocco,
been
yeah.
North Africa.
Number
Morocco.
3,
Nicely done.
Jelena Gigi Hadid, absolutely correct. I don't know why she went from J
You
to
crushed
G,
it.
but yes, absolutely. Gigi and
Nicely
Bella
done.
Hadid. Gigi Hadid is
Let's
correct.
Ran away with it.
Gigi is the best picture winning film. Number 4, I'm gonna give you an additional hint because I don't think you guys would have gotten this with what I had here. This actor does not have the last name McNamara. And one of his most sort of famous roles is actually a voice acting role in a Pixar movie where he plays a title character.
Oh.
If that's still not ringing any bells, I'll tell you the movie is Ratatouille.
Okay. Oof.
And
Okay.
Whoa.
So hang on, the comedian's name is Ratatouille?
No.
Oh. I was so lost. I was like, is he giving us the answer? No, we'll come back to that. I was like,
No,
what
no,
does
no.
Ratatouille have to do with this? No, he's the
The comedian
got it.
plays
Yes.
the
We
rat
can,
in
we can get
Ratatouille.
him. Yeah.
And the movie
That's,
being referenced in his
second.
name is a movie about a general.
Okay, that's gonna help.
I cannot
That's gonna
believe
help. Let's keep going with it.
I literally was today
We got
days
most of
old
it.
when I realized that I don't know who voiced Remy in Ratatouille.
I do. He was also the guy in The Birdcage, and it's gonna take me a second when I'm not talking to sit and think with it because I know it. So let's go through the other answers. Let me focus.
Okay,
on
we'll
it.
come back to it. Number 5, Rocky Road. Rocky won the best picture award. 6. I'll tell you, it's an NFL franchise. I might add that into the question for the bar. It's an NFL franchise. One of the 2 oldest NFL franchises that's still in operation today. One of them is the Arizona Cardinals. But this one is the tied for the oldest NFL franchise. And it is the state borders Indiana, but borders it to the northwest. Well, the city is northwest of the Indiana border. So it shares shoreline, I guess.
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, well done. Patton Oswalt is the
Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt
Yeah.
is the NFL
Trevor.
franchise.
Not the guy from Patton Oswalt is not the guy who I was thinking of from The Birdcage.
Patton Oswalt, yeah, his wife Michelle McNamara wrote "I'll Be Gone in the Dark" about the Golden State Killer. But anyway, going back to the
Very cool.
NFL franchise.
Yes, sorry.
It is borders Indiana to the northwest, or to the west, I guess. But the city is northwest of the border between this state and Indiana. It shares it borders along shoreline with Lake Michigan. So the city is on Lake Michigan. That's a bit about as big a hint as I can give.
Yeah.
And this movie, I think, came out in 2002 that I'm referencing.
So is it the Chicago
Yeah,
Bears?
it is. Good job. Chicago
There you
Bears.
go.
Whoa.
Yep.
Chicago Bears. Yeah, I would not have thought Indiana was that far north. I was really seeing it as further
Yeah,
down. So it's west of Ohio.
Indiana is it's south of Ohio. Well, hold on. Now I'm trying to think.
South.
This is
I know.
bad. I should get over this.
That's perfectly fine. But it's something to that effect. I just, the point is, I
No,
would
sorry,
put
it's just
Indiana
I was
further
completely
south.
wrong. It's just due west of Ohio. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Indiana has a very small shoreline on Lake Michigan, and the like Chicago is actually quite close to Indiana on that. It's very close to that border with Indiana. And yeah, they have signed legislation like clearing way for a new stadium to start being built in Indiana, which is like a big deal for a lot of Chicago people. It's cool. Like, oh my God, like we're gonna be like the New York Giants. We're gonna be playing in New Jersey, but called
watch me get like literal hate mail.
New Jersey, the worst place ever. 7 you guys nailed with Crash Bandicoot. 8 Moonlight Sonata. Wonderful little piece of music that you just grab that one out from midair. And one word best picture winners is your theme. Well done. 7 out of 10 is pretty good for the first pod.
Listen, that's pretty good for first pod. That's great, Ritika. And honestly, the Gigi Hadid poll, we have this thing where our guest hosts come in without a great argument. I mean, you had sorry, I don't mean to say that. You had a great argument with she has a younger sister who's also in kind of fashion modeling, makeup. But we couldn't sit and see. I couldn't sit and see past the Jolena to Gigi connection.
That's not that big of a leap.
I don't think so, because it's the same sound, but like,
Fair enough. Listen, I can get shouted
Gigi
down.
Hadid, if you're listening to the pod right now, write in, leave a comment.
Gigi, come on the show and tell us about where you got your nickname from.
Also, I would just like to say to every Chicago Bull fan listening to this pod, you are important. And
Chicago Bear.
And it is a big deal. It is a big deal.
Chicago Bears. To the Chicago Bulls fans, we're very
sorry for dragging you into this.
Chicago Bulls fans, you get to have your own stadium in Chicago. All right, what do you have to bitch about? Excellent round. Listen, 7 out of 10, we will take. We will feel good about that.
Yeah, we killed that. That's close to 69%. 70.
You got
so dare I say, we knew all along.
You got it right on the money. I'll say since I didn't really talk through how I got there with the Patton Oswalt bit, it didn't end up helping that he was Ratatouille. It was that he's named after the general, and I know that the Patton movie was a real big that was a big Oscar.
Also, to go to something you pulled out Patton. Just because I need to twist the knife a little bit. You were like, oh yeah, Meet Joe Black. That's a movie. That movie was like poorly reviewed. That wasn't even nominated. Was that not an Oscar? It wasn't even nominated for anything. It wasn't nominated for a single award.
I don't know if that's true. Did you just look that up?
I looked it up. I was like, well, you said it, and I was like, that movie definitely didn't win an Oscar. And I was like, maybe it got nominated.
I'll believe that it didn't age well. I will believe that it didn't age well, but I don't know. It was enjoyed in my household when it came out. Love Anthony Hopkins.
Well, I have some notes and things to run through. You guys did a great job. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to start out with a little bit of a plug. When you're listening to this, my trivia puzzle book has been released. This is the Evil Trivia Book of Puzzles. These are the best of the best puzzles that we've written for Trivia Night. Collected into a nice little book. All of them have been rewritten and new illustrations and everything and full written explanations, better than the explanations that I give Trevor and Ritika when we actually host trivia. And so what I thought could be fun is for the next few episodes, I want to do a little puzzle live. For the last one with Blaze, we just did a puzzle that was a bit like sort of spatial reasoning type thing. And I'm not going to give you guys something super mathy to solve on the pod. So I'll do a physics thought experiment. And I think Trevor knows this puzzle. I'm hoping he doesn't.
If I do, I will pretend that I do.
So this is the answer is
this is puzzle number 30. 30. It's called Let's Get High. Okay. I'm late for trivia night and I need to fly there. I'm trying to take off in a standard propeller plane. but the runway is a large conveyor belt that will instantly and completely match the airplane's ground speed in the opposite direction. Will the plane be able to generate lift and take off? So here is what it looks like. Basically, if the runway is running in the opposite direction as the plane, can the plane take off? That's puzzle number 30 from the Evil Trivia Book of Puzzles. What do you guys think?
Ritika, I will let you. What are your thoughts on this? You've got a conveyor belt that's running towards you. You've got a plane that's trying to take off. What do you think happens?
So the conveyor belt is running at the same speed, but opposite of how fast the plane is going.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think that's a plane I want to be on. I'm going to be honest.
I like how you just don't even answer the question. Just like, if it takes off or doesn't take off, I don't want to be in this situation.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's like Newark airport type stuff. Like, I don't really
Jersey is getting ground under in this
deservedly
episode.
so.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. In this estimation where you're saying you don't want to be on that plane, can I extrapolate that you're saying you don't think it's going to take off? It's just going to be sitting there, whether it's trying to take off or not.
Yeah. I think it'll be stagnant. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Because as it starts to speed up, the conveyor belt then would speed up, and it wouldn't move enough, let's say, to generate lift under the wings. Is that fair to say?
Exactly. Because I'm thinking about like me running on a treadmill, right? Like if the treadmill is moving at the same speed that I am, there is no way I'm going to be able to just like fly away. Like that's not going to happen.
and let's say if your end goal was to get off of the treadmill by running towards the other end, and it keeps catching up to you, you're not able to propel yourself along the conveyor belt.
You have to go faster. You have to go faster.
But you can't.
So Trevor and Ritika say.
Then I will jump in.
You know the answer. Do you know the answer to this one? Oh, okay.
I know the answer. I do know the answer to this one. It's one of my favorites because it shows up the intense frothing of the mouth in the comment sections of whatever post I'm reading this on. It's a classic that I love very much, which is this. And Ritika, you bring up a great example by talking about the treadmill when you're running on it, or if a car is driving on it. Because the key here is that a plane does not get its speed from its wheels turning on the ground. The wheels touching the ground are free spinning. So it doesn't matter how fast that conveyor belt is going, it's not applying any force to the plane. What is generating lift or motion or speed is the propeller or the jet engine or anything of that sort. So the plane will free roll forward as it generates propulsion the way that it normally would. Whereas with a car, where its wheels are trying to pull it along the ground, if the ground keeps moving, then the car won't move. You, when you're running, are pulling the ground along with you. If the ground keeps moving, you're not going to move. But a plane, with the conveyor belt could be going twice the speed of the plane, but it's just going to roll underneath the wheels. The wheels are going to move quickly, but they're not generating any force. So I would say the plane is still able to take
that is absolutely correct.
Wow.
And it illustrates what I love so much about this thought experiment, because if you ask somebody what the question kind of posits in people's brains is, can a stationary plane take off? Because people think the plane's going to be stationary. They make this logical leap in the conclusion that like, oh, the plane will be stationary and therefore it can't take off.
Because they hear equal forces. And it's
absolutely correct that a plane that is stationary in relation to the ground can't take off. It's not going to generate lift just because the propeller is spinning. The propeller doesn't generate lift on its own. It has to move forward through the air to generate lift. But the thing is, as Trevor said, yes, the plane does move forward through the air because it's pulling itself through the air. The medium in which a plane travels is air, not pushing itself along the ground. Therefore, the plane will move forward on the runway and take off. But it's a great thought experiment in how it gets people tripped up in that like very simple conclusion. Yeah. And this book is full of stuff like that. There's like math problems, logic puzzles, physics conundrums, like that last one. It is available on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. Go and check it out. I have a few more notes before we wrap up. One thing that I thought was kind of interesting about Rebecca Black is that she's only ever had 2 songs that have ever hit the charts. One of them was Friday and one of them was Saturday.
Yeah.
And she's still making music. She's still making
charts. Both of them have hit the charts, and I think that gives her a 100% chart appearance.
No, she has like 30 singles.
No, all right.
She has
she has
other
a ton of
music.
other music.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, got it. Well, that's too bad. Not barely worth mentioning, and I didn't bring it up in the beginning, so I could bring it up here at the end. I actually met Rebecca Black briefly in a club in LA in 2019 for, I should have sat and thought about who I was seeing. It was probably like Haim or something like that.
Oh, love them.
Yeah, they're great.
And briefly danced with her.
Wow.
which I was like, and it was one of these things where we didn't like meet, like, hi, I'm Rebecca Black.
But you recognized her.
It was but I recognized
That's
her
so
after
funny
all that
because
time. I was like,
originally for that question, I was going to show a picture of her now and be like, who is this?
Yeah.
I was like, I sort of tested it on some people that were last night, and people were like, oh, I would not have gotten that, but maybe Trevor would have gotten it.
Trevor would have randomly. I did later confirm that it was in fact Rebecca Black. I was there with some friends and friends and family, and we did.
That's
we
so
like,
sick.
"It's Rebecca Black."
Moving right along to the Chicago Bears question. I won't torture you guys with more sports knowledge, but if the team does move to Indiana, they will be following a list of teams that is like named for a place where they don't actually play their games. The New York Giants, New York Jets being two of them. San Francisco 49ers sort of being one. They play in Santa Clara. There's a more interesting, in my opinion, sort of like niche subcategory of this. And I think I found all of them because I pulled this up not long ago. And I think this is all of them. There are 4, technically it's 7, but let's call it 4 places or 4 teams. We'll say 4 teams that are named for not actual like municipalities,
not cities.
Like they're not cities or states. They're not named for a place where it's like, there's a representative government for, you can't be in charge of X place.
Right. I think I have the obvious example, which would be like the New England Patriots.
Exactly. Great example.
Is an example. I think is probably the easiest example.
Yeah. There's another sort of like New Englandy one. And then there are 2 sort of sneakier ones. One of them is from,
and these are professional sports.
Yeah. One of them is from where Rithika's from.
Oh, really? Cupertino?
Well, not exactly Cupertino, but
so this would be like the Golden State Warriors.
The Golden State Warriors are not named.
Am I seeing the Matrix right now? Am I the one with sports knowledge?
There are 2 much sneakier ones that are both. So one of them is an NFL franchise that has the name of a state in it, but is not actually a state. And the other one has the name of a city in it, but is not actually a city. And I'll pull you guys out of your misery for just to move right along.
Yeah, please do.
One of them is the Carolina Panthers, which is sneaky because there's a North Carolina and a South Carolina, but there's no state just called Carolina. So it's a little sneaky.
Okay.
And then Tampa.
Are they in the North or the South?
They play in North Carolina. They play in North Carolina. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Tampa Bay Rays, Tampa Bay Lightning, because Tampa is the city, but Tampa Bay is like the waterfront area. The waterfront. So not actually like a real municipality, Tampa Bay. So I think those are all of them. If you can think of more, write into the comments.
Get in the comments. Prove us wrong.
All right, and I will close this out with a new like tradition that I've been liking to do on the podcast lately, which in the bar we have a free drink question. So I ask a question that has a ridiculous math in it, and no one's going to know the right answer. And we see who in the bar is closest by everybody kind of writes down on a piece of paper and hold it up. And if you're the closest, you get a free drink token. So the way it works on the pod is I'll ask the question, and then one of you will guess a number, and the other one will say higher or lower, as in, is that guess above or below the right number? And we'll see who wins. Ritika, you're the guest. Which would you like to do? Would you like to guess the number, or would you like to say higher or lower?
I would like to say
which
higher
is the right
lower.
decision. Nobody has ever picked the other one. It's probably a sign that the game isn't that well balanced when there's like such an obvious one to take.
Yeah. Did Blaze pick the same?
So did Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the ultimately correct decision. There's something Monty Hall problem about it, but we'll come back to that.
Monty Hall problem. No, I actually don't think I put the Monty Hall problem in the puzzle book. Too basic. Everybody knows that one. All right, here's your question, and then we'll wrap up. I don't know why I wrote this like this. There's so many questions every week that I write, and I go to read it in the bar, and I'm like, why did I write this like this? Anyway, here's your Friedrich question. Technically, every road is just one road, a web of interconnected asphalt that we name to conquer the land. Wow, deep. But let's pretend for a moment. Let's pretend for a moment that you wanted to travel on the longest road in the U.S., the longest continuous single road in the U.S. that has the same name across it. If you drove the speed limit on that road the entire time, how many times could you listen to Rebecca Black's Friday?
Okay. All right. Give me the important parts right there. It's the longest?
The longest continuous single road in the U.S. I'll tell you what it is. It's called U.S. Route 20.
Gotcha. Okay. I was going to say we're not counting the whole Eisenhower interstate system.
It's one named road.
One named road, U.S. Route 20. I'm not familiar with where Route 20 is, so let's assume that it runs for a very, 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 very long time. Let's assume that if it runs for the length of the United States at its widest. What is the widest? I know New York. I know LA to New York is about 3,000 miles. So it's not that. Let's take less than that. 2,500. You're driving along.
Also, I will while you're doing this, because if I don't tell you this, if I tell you this after you make a guess, you're gonna complain. Technically, looks like there's a little bit of a gap over Yellowstone Park, but let's say it's continuous. Other than that,
yeah. Fair enough. And I appreciate that. I wouldn't have complained.
You would have
complained. Okay. Let's go the other direction. If we think it takes 40 hours to get across the United States from end to end, driving the speed limit, which I still think is pretty fast. How many times can I listen to Rebecca Black's Friday? Just her Friday, not her whole discography.
Friday.
Just Friday. If I think I can listen to Friday 20 times in an hour, I think it's 3 minutes long. I think I can listen to it 20 times in an hour, and I think there's 40. I'm going to say this can't possibly be right. I'm going to say 800 hours. 800 times.
Ritika, higher or lower?
Okay, 800 times. Okay. I think it's higher.
Trevor had a very, very good guess at 800. The correct number I'm looking for is 821.
Whoa!
What? Trevor!
Really good guess.
On,
so
baby.
3,365 miles, 52 hours to go across it. 3 hours and 48 minutes. Or 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
3 minutes. Oh, it's almost 4 minutes long. She does that to us for almost 4 minutes.
3:48.
Wow.
And
okay, that's what threw it off. I was low on the hour count, but high on the.
But it kind of worked out in your favor. I mean,
it totally worked out. It worked out. That's fantastic. Nice.
That is all I have. Ritika, well done. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. This is the part where you can plug anything that you would like to plug. What do you have to say to the people?
Oh my gosh. I say follow Evil Trivia on Instagram and come out to either Radagast doesn't get as much love. Come out to Radagast as well. We're here.
Do it.
We're doing our thing. And also Claro follows us on Instagram. So if you wanna follow suit, I think you should do the same.
She does. Claro, thank you for being a listener also. That is all we got. Thank you so much to both of you for playing, and thank you to our audience for listening. It means a lot that you're here still at minute 59 of the pod. If you liked this, play along on Patreon at Evil Trivia, where we have this round and many others, including music rounds, challenges, all that good stuff. And if you live in New York City or want to come to New York City on a Tuesday, come to St. Timothy's and Radagast Tuesdays at 7:30. You'll see more details about all of that on Instagram.com/Evil Trivia. Thank you so much for listening. That is the Evil Trivia Podcast.